Hey. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so, it's been about a week since the last time I posted a video. Oh, it's been a week, almost exactly. Or, no, it exactly has been a week. It's been a week since I posted a video. But it's been about, this chair is so squeaky, oh my god. Okay, we're settled now. Okay, so it's been about like 2-3-ish months since I deleted my social media off my phone, and about a week since I made my video kind of talking about it. I'm thinking that I'm going to reinstate my social media probably this week at some point. So I thought, what a perfect time to film part 2 of the social media video and talk about that experience. So basically, this experience of the past few months have been the definition of boredom. But I feel like in some ways, boredom is like the perfect recipe for becoming awesome. So in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about the 9 things that I learned after deleting my social media accounts. Actually, there's 10. Number 1, learning to enjoy the tops of people's heads. Pro tip, wear sunglasses on your head because when you're looking down at your phone, it makes someone else talking to you feel like you're kind of maybe looking at them a little bit. Hey, how you doing? What you reading? Sounds really interesting, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, Cardi B. Right. Well, it was nice talking to you, honestly. Okay, see you. Hey, how you doing? Okay. I'm doing great. Yeah. Thanks. Number 2, there's like 1,000,000.5 zillion quadrillion different versions of the same game in the iTunes store. All of these games are completely mundane and serve no purpose, don't teach you anything, but are great ways of distracting yourself from life for hours. Like you can become completely obsessed with how long it takes you to fill a hole with people or buildings, or completely obsessed with how many times you can cover an inanimate object with a certain color before you get eaten up by other colors. Seriously, it can become really addicting. There exists in the universe a disgusting amount of bad television and bad movies. I also found that discussing these bad movies and bad television is a very fulfilling and extremely invigorating pastime for me, which I enjoy very, very much. I'm happy to report that I actually do love hair, makeup, and fashion. I was worried for a while there that I possibly had been brainwashed by the amount of hair, makeup, and fashion that is bombarded to me over social media over the years, and that maybe I really didn't actually like those things and I just thought I did because everybody else seems to, and it seems to make a lot of money and it seems to be out there and very, very popular. But I'm happy to announce that I actually do enjoy those things in my private time as well. I really like to put on makeup. I really like doing my hair. I really like trying out new things, and it's actually an enjoyable and like satiating experience for me. However, I have found that Instagram makeup and what's on my social media feeds is boring, bro. I'm so over it. Like, I'm so over it. When you're forced to look for creative inspiration from any other area other than scrolling your timeline, and it's not as easy as opening an app to see inspiration, it broadens your horizons. It gives you an opportunity to look into areas that you may not have looked in before, and I found inspiration from movies, from billboards, from old books, from old magazines, so many different places, even in places that weren't related to actual human beings. Like the other day I had inspiration to braid my hair from looking at this tree outside. That's an interesting anecdote, but it's true. Also, I found it's a lot easier to let your balls drop when you're not afraid of everybody watching you do it every day. I learned that the radio is actually high-key not as bad as my little bougie-ass preteen self used to claim it was. Aw, shit. If I keep it tight. Aha! That's a cute angle. Actually works really good. Okay, bitch. Okay. It's actually pretty cool. I find out a lot of music that I definitely wouldn't have found otherwise from it. And listening to people talk with that little fuzzy noise in the background is actually kind of soothing. Probably not the safest for driving, but sometimes I'm in the mood for like a little chill, relaxing drive, and it's, you know, it's kind of nice. People will interrupt you reading in public way more often than they will interrupt you being on your phone. I can carry on a full conversation on my phone. Like, while I am scrolling Instagram, I can carry on a full conversation, understand what you're talking about, be focused on your conversation. Mostly, I won't even pay attention to what I'm seeing on my screen. But if I'm reading a book and I'm actually trying to read it, which, like, you know, hopefully if I have a book out, that's, like, you know, the purpose of me having a book out in front of me is that I'm actually trying to read it. I cannot focus on what I'm reading or you at all. I just go back and forth between you guys and the book, and I'm just like, wait, what were you talking about? And then this, and then wait, that, the book, and then what? And my stories get confused. It's way more confusing. I don't get that. I spent a lot of time with people that I really love and genuinely care about, and I didn't need to record or prove to anyone that I was doing it. And I also spent a lot of time doing things that I previously somehow didn't have time to do, but all of a sudden, because I didn't have social media anymore, I had so much more time. What? I just realized that I now have to drive all the way home in silence because my dumb ass decided to be addicted to social media and then delete my YouTube account and also be broke and not be able to pay for Apple Music. So, man, fuck this shit. One of the main things I miss about having Instagram is that I really want to post stories of how cute she is. She's having no parts of waking up. Can I wake up now? Ain't you right in my space, but yeah, baby, I'll wait, but I still took a chicken with you. I don't know the words anymore. So this is probably one of the least expected outcomes, but I actually really miss sharing my life online. There's honestly something beautiful about living in a generation that so values sharing all of our beautiful life moments with each other. As much as it can be toxic that we're constantly comparing ourselves to the outside world, the simple fact that our society is motivated to share its most simple moments at its most pure of intentions is actually beautiful because it means that we celebrate each other. Even pure strangers in today's society, we celebrate everyone's most beautiful life moments and we share our life experiences. Think about it this way. Say like 50 years ago, maybe even like 30 years ago, the average person probably only had like 100 or so people to invite to like a wedding. Maybe 50 to 30 people at most to invite to like a family event or a birthday party. Even the biggest parties and holidays and events that you threw were shared with maybe your closest 20 to 30 friends. Moments like brunch with your bestie or a really cute date, mornings with cuddling with your puppy, outings with your parents, all of those things were shared with the person that you went with and maybe a friend who was nice enough to care to look at your pictures of it, but for the most part just shared between those two people. Hey, babies. Hi, babies. See, a moment like this would have been shared just between the two of us. Of course, at that time, things were much more simple. People didn't get married for clout. No one was out here having kids for views. Yeah, probably better. But there is a possible bright side to the way that things are nowadays in that we share our special moments and are happy and give positive energy freely to strangers over things that in another time we wouldn't have cared about. It's kind of beautiful that life is like this now. Especially in 2020, I'm sure we can all say that there's friendships, the relationships, whether we knew them in person or not, that have flourished strongly because of the internet, that if the internet wasn't around, wouldn't be the same type of relationships at all. And honestly, I have relationships, friendships, family relationships, all of that I also know that if Facebook didn't notify me of their birthday once a year, those relationships would be a lot weaker than they are today. When I opened my Instagram app and re-downloaded it for the first time in months and found someone who watches the book club videos, was the first person, the only person to actually notice that I had been off the app for a little while. Like, that meant the world to me. And if I didn't have the internet, if I didn't share my life online, if I didn't do this stuff, that would have never happened. So I really miss that. And I also feel pretty guilty and shitty for not like keeping up my side of that type of relationship. You know what I mean? And not only all of that, but also, I'll just get a little weird with you guys. I believe in spiritual energy, you know, and I believe in shared energy. I believe that the more people who are spreading positive energy towards me, the better. And I believe that if I put my life out there more, just based on laws of probability, there's gonna be a good amount of people like believing positively for my life, you know? And it feels good when I'm living out loud and allowing those people to give their positive energy towards me. Although I'm aware there's negative energy too, and clearly, since I'm on the social media break, I'm affected by that, but I just believe that living out loud and being strong enough to put yourself out there gives you the opportunity to allow people who are strong enough to give that positive energy out to give it to you. Therefore, for you to give it back. I actually miss being on social media and knowing about my favorite influencers' lives and my favorite celebrities' lives. I feel like I felt purpose in giving them positive energy and positive support to the things that they were doing in life. And just as much as I miss the support that I got for the things that I did. You know what I mean? I miss being a part of their journeys. I miss keeping up with what they were doing. I actually genuinely missed them as people, regardless of the fact that they don't know I exist. I really missed spreading love to people through social media who don't know I exist, because at the end of the day, the universe knows I exist, the universe knows they exist, and that energy exists regardless of whether we know each other or not. So that exchange of positivity was real, and I missed being a part of that. Confidence is a lot like trust. I'm really not sure where I got this from, whether it was Women Who Run with Wolves or some other self-help book. Probably Women Who Run with Wolves. But I heard somewhere that insecurity is really a lack of being able to trust yourself. You go through life thinking that everyone else is better than you and that you can't live up to the coolness that everyone else does. Why would you think that? Not actually because of those people's innate coolness, of course, because logically we know that if we really wanted to do something, we probably could, if we tried. We're insecure because we're seeing the results of someone else choosing themselves over and over again and realizing that we don't choose ourselves over and over again. Self-care is such a big buzz topic in today's society, but we all know that a face mask doesn't go bippity boppity boop and your depression is gone. Self-care is really a decision. It takes physical and emotional effort. If you're putting on a face mask while simultaneously cooking dinner and also helping your child with their homework, that's not really self-care. That is multitasking care of a lot of things, including your skin, but not really just self-care, you know what I mean? If you're reading a book and the only chances that you get to read it are while you're in a waiting room, in between red lights while you're driving, or while someone else is talking or doing something else, you know, that's also not really self-care. It's distracted studying, but not really self-care. Self-care is when you decide to take a block of time to dedicate to taking care of you, to truly just focusing on you for some period of time, however long. Self-care has to be a complete block. It doesn't have to be long or short, but it does have to be without distraction, and it has to be a moment where you 100% choose you. That's how you build confidence, because over time, you starts to realize that you choose you too. And you are worthy of being chosen because you choose yourself all the time. That's how you release insecurity, because you are secure that you are worthy of being chosen every once in a while because you gave it to yourself. It's just like any relationship that you've ever built. You built that relationship because over time there were multiple situations where you felt that that person chose you, and it made you begin to trust them over and over again. When you consistently choose someone else over you, the inner you, gets just as jealous as any boyfriend or girlfriend would on the outside. You know what I mean? Like, if you're consistently choosing to put other people and other things over your girlfriend or boyfriend is going to be really, really mad at you and feel very rightfully jealous because you're choosing something else over them over and over and over again, and they will be very insecure based on that if they don't have security in themselves, but that's a whole nother conversation. You feel the same way about you. If you are constantly making yourself feel jealous because you never choose you, then you are going to begin to feel very insecure. So, to build confidence, I had to start trusting myself. It's a lot easier said than done, but I think that was like the highest thing that I needed to do. I question myself so much on every single thing that I ever want to do. I'm constantly worried I'm gonna fail. The other day, I was joking with somebody and I told them that if Beyonce said the world was flat, I would believe her and no questions asked. And I thought to myself, you know, getting like way too deep and way too high and like questioning myself way more than I really should. I thought, you know, why is it that I trust Beyonce more than I trust myself? I don't even know Beyonce, and I actually know of quite a few of the mistakes she's made in her life. So why is it that I trust her more than myself when I know myself really well? I know the mistakes I've made. I know the reason behind the mistakes I've made. I don't know any of that shit for Beyonce. You know what I mean? My track record with trusting me is a lot stronger than my track record with trusting Beyonce, but I would believe her over myself any day. It's like Beyonce's just strong in her decisions. She's made bad decisions that possibly she doesn't agree with anymore, but do I know that? No. Do you know that? No. Because she doesn't tell anyone, you know what I mean? Not even that she doesn't tell anyone, but that she just keeps it pushing. She lives her life out loud. If she fucks up, and she keeps it moving, you know? Why don't I treat my own decisions with as much respect as that? To believe that even if it doesn't go exactly how I thought it was supposed to go, it went how it was supposed to go, and I can keep going forward regardless. Why don't I have as much respect for my decisions as I do for Beyonce's? Is it because I'm not rich? Is it because I'm not famous? Because if those are the reasons, that's pretty dumb, because I actually have way less to lose than she does, you know what I mean? Social media is not the problem. It really never was. The problem lies solely in my connection with me. Sure, social media can exacerbate some self-confidence issues, but really at the end of the day, the issue lies purely in my lack of a connection to me. I really believe now that nothing can have control over you unless you let it. And I think I believed that in words forever, and I always say I believe that, but it's hard sometimes to remind myself of it. So this is not to say that I'm never going to take a break from social media again. In fact, it is the opposite of that very strongly, because I probably will take many breaks from social media throughout my life. In fact, I think it's necessary to take breaks from social media, if only to remind myself of this very fact. The key of what I learned here, though, is I know I need a break from anything if it is becoming my way of taking breaks from myself. What I mean by that is, I think I've used social media for a long time to distract myself from me, to sit and scroll through other people's lives and distract myself from what I want to be doing. I think you can do that with anything that is like inspirational. It's like inspiration only goes so far until it becomes total distraction and demotivation. Before this break, I was using social media as a distraction from negativity, from hurt, from pain, from depression, from anxiety, all of those things. And I began to think that social media was the problem, that social media was the thing that was exacerbating those issues and making me feel them even stronger. But once I took a break from social media, I still dealt with those things. And I realized that, it couldn't possibly be social media's fault if I'm still dealing with it, you know? So really what it is I can't use anything in life to take me away from me. Never again will I search for a distraction from me. And that, my friends, is the key. That was so corny. Hey, you want to close out the video with me? Let me say bye to the friends. Bye! Ooh, ooh. Okay, guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Going forward, I really want to post more on all social medias. I have to admit that Instagram is a little bit weird for me right now. I put it back on my phone and I've gone on it a couple times, like where I just open the app. But to be honest, like after having been off of it for so many months, the concept of it is just still a little strange. Like I'm really unsure what to post first. Like I'm like, there's so many things have happened in this past little period of time since I had it. I have a new tattoo. Like I have so many things that I could be posting, but I really like don't know what to do first. I don't know if anyone will care about the stuff that happened before. Should I only post the stuff that happened recently? Here I go doing that overthinking thing that led me to this video in the first place. So now that we're finishing up this video, I'm gonna make a promise to you guys and a promise to myself. Let me think about this one because I said promise and I don't want to break a promise, but this is gonna be really hard. Okay. Promise. I'm gonna keep posting on YouTube. Because for whatever reason, it's easier for me to post on YouTube than any other social media. It's just more comfortable. And I'm going to try to keep posting on Instagram. At least in my story. I'm gonna start posting in my story at the least. Fuck. I did this whole video thinking I got somewhere, thinking I had some big ass epiphany, and here I am at the same place. Help, guys. Help. Okay, that's all. Subscribe if you like this. What the fuck even is this? I don't even know. I'll see y'all. Bye.